Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the CORE Xfinity Series presented by SimRaces.com as we are here for the season finale, and we are here at Homestead Miami Speedway for that season finale. 100 laps on tap. A few of the standings maybe wrapped up a little bit already. I guess really maybe not a few of them. Just mainly the platinum, as Alan Elwood has been dominating everyone here this season. Comes in with a 100-point lead, so he is good to go. He is wrapped up the platinum championship coming into the night. The silver still mathematically possible for Matt Crockett to catch Ricky Renner here. David Tilford, very tight right there with the gold as he's got a 9-point lead over Courtney Nelson. And then same thing in the bronze, Jeremy Greeny with a 9-point lead over Nathan Nickerson. So we'll see who's going to come away your champions here for the season. Carl Hamrick joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, this is where NASCAR used to finish off their season, and it feels right to finish out a season here at Homestead Miami.
Yeah, woot woot, end of the season here for CORE Racing Xfinity Series. Congratulations to all the drivers, even before they start tonight. Just coming out here each and every week to put on a great show for for them to go back and watch later, their friends and family, everybody that watches here on CRN. So I appreciate everybody stopping by, of course. But there is 29 drivers out on the field here. They are getting ready to go. It does look like Alan has not got the pole here tonight, and it's going to be taken over there by Tyler Skozen. So I'll go ahead and read off the qualifying results before they roll out of the pits. As Tyler Skozen will be your pole sitter with Alan Elwood on the outside. J.P. Phillips trying to make a run at tonight for a win in P number 3. Dave Tilford in 4th. Nico Garcia in the top 5. Then it's Jeff Ryan, Tommy Ryan, Courtney Nelson, James Hislop, and Randy Yoakum for your top 10. And Matt Crockett, AJ Roderick, Jake Lesh, Zane Bierman, Colin for your top 15. Luis Orduna out there in 16th. I've seen signs that he might not make it tonight, but I'm glad he did. Matthew Simmons out here in 17th. Dan Phelps, John Crane, Joey Cruz, Ricky Renner, Courtney Nelson, Stephen Harris, Terry Jensen, Kelly Pointer for your top 25. Robert Matthews, Troy Snyder, Jeremy Gainey, and PJ Jackson for your 29 car field.
We got just about everybody in their divisions here as we get to the final race of the season, with only 2 rookies out there right now. Courtney Nickerson looking to get her one step closer to getting herself into a division for next season. And then PJ Jackson, first race out here with the CORE Xfinity Series here, and I guess the last race for the CORE Xfinity Series, unless Xfinity jumps on board as a sponsor again in the future. But it'll be the O'Reilly Series next season. But it's time to go racing here tonight. The pace car lights are out. Tyler Skozen is your leader, and word in the garage area is this will be his last race here with the series as well. And we're going to finish it off with the pole here tonight. And we are racing here at Homestead Miami.
Was that Tyler saying that, or was it?
Yeah, that was. Oh, it was Tyler's the 08. I'd say the 30. As I got to get my my paints updated here. With the 30, Randy Yoakum going to go sideways in turn number 1, and so going to get it back going here. In the meantime, give me a chance to reload trading paints here one more time and hopefully get everything cleaned up. But we'll take a look back and see how this transpired here. And looks like we just kind of lost it on the zone here. You see right there, midway through the corner, just got a little bit loose. Good job by AJ Roderick and the rest of the white cars right there, as you can't see any of them. Paint scheme as it's loading right now. Getting around the 30 there, Randy Yoakum, and no contact for anybody. But Jeremy Gainey did end up getting a meatball. So we need to take a look at this again here from Jeremy Gainey's view and see what exactly happened. Looks like he already has a meatball. So did we miss something here on the start of the race? We'll take a look at it here one more time. And this was the start, but twice nosing into the wall, and unfortunately that's going to be a meatball here for the 45, and he'll have to come in there and get that served. But we'll get you back alive here and show you that he is the only one that has come into the pits here for this yellow flag here on lap number 1. Hopefully, just getting the jitters out here. The 30 of Randy Oakham just getting a little bit squirrely there on the start. Cold tires and maybe just get that out of the system here. Now we'll get this thing going. But Tyler Skosen able to regain the lead just barely before the caution came out, and we'll have 28 drivers back on the lead lap. I see Jeremy Gainey in the pits, but I don't think he towed to the pits, and I still see the meatball on the 45. So that, yep, there we go. Now finally clicked off. I don't know why it took so long because I don't see that he towed back to the pits. But either way, back rolling here, and we'll get this thing back on the green probably next time by.
Yeah, looking forward to the green flag racing here tonight as early caution plagues the field here. And it's just them cold tires, Carl. Kind of getting out here, get excited. Last race of the season, you want to finish well. Not the way to start, obviously. Send the car around and find yourself in a little bit of a uphill battle for the rest of the night. It's not what drivers, want to come out here and do. But they'll come back. All I gotta do is stick with it here. The drivers have been pretty resilient throughout the season to get these races done. But quick caution here to get everybody maybe let everybody get their. We'll let everybody's nerves calm down. Everybody should be kind of chill, especially some of the leaders. Obviously, Alan Elwood up there should be chill and knows he's got the championship in the bag, and but he's gonna race hard, and I'm sure he's gonna try to get another one here wrapped up with Tyler Skosen and try to keep him behind him one more time here for the season. I'm sure Tyler would love to get a victory here tonight, but that number 55 is gonna go ahead and battle the 5 here and see what he can do. But look out for some of the rest of the drivers in the field. Obviously, the 20 of JP Phillips, the 66 of even Tommy Ryan, Dave Tilford, showing a lot of speed here later towards the season as we get underway again here as Tyler Skosen leads them off into turn number 1.
And it looks like maybe a little St. Patty's Day action there on the 5 as well. Some new paint skin for the 5, and a little festive, a little Irish here tonight. Maybe he certainly doesn't need any Lucky Charms for sure on the 5 here, but looks like we're going to be right under another caution here. And possibly, looks like, is it Randy Yoakum here again?
Yeah, I'm getting Terry Jansen and Zane Bierman here towards the back. Let's see what kind of happened.
Matthew Simmons right there. There we go.
Oh.
So we'll take a look at it here one more time. And it looks like restart. Excuse me. And 67 goes to the middle. Not sure if Zane Bierman... See right there, almost looks like he kind of missed a shift, or maybe just in between shifts. And the 67 of Colin Flicker gets into the side panel of him, sends him up in front of Matthew Simmons. And saying that Terry Jansen was involved here as well. That could have been the second incident there.
Yeah.
Terry Jansen tries to go to the outside. But right there tags the 69 here one more time, and we're taking a look at the at the paint scheme here for Terry Jansen. While it's still looking somewhat okay, as he's got the Snoopy versus the Bronze Division paint scheme on here tonight. So love to see the creativity on some of these drivers, and a good looking metal flake paint scheme there as well. Definitely a fan of that one, as that thing is shining under the lights here, but a little crinkled up here on the front end. So we'll see him probably come in and take care of that damage. But back to live here, and we have quite a few drivers in the pits. Matthew Simmons going to have to get that that meatball taken care of here. But Tyler Skosen, again, enjoying what could be his last race. From the sounds of it, after talking with him, it sounds like he's one, college bogging him down here a little bit. Sometimes life gets in the way, but also looking at some different opportunities. Wants to focus a little bit more on the college series on iRacing, the official series, and possibly some more opportunities on that side of the fence as well in the future. So certainly wish him luck, and hopefully I don't think Alan Elwood is in college, so he doesn't have to deal with Elwood, at least on that side. But I know there's definitely some good drivers on that college series as well, and I believe one of Elwood's teammates, Cioli, was one of them that we had in CORE Xfinity Series for a little bit. So I know he was running over there in the college series as well. But either way, pace car lights are out. We're going to get this thing back rolling here once again. Hopefully, we can get a lap completed here this time as we got Tyler Skozen, your leader here, Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, and looks like he's got a fresh new paint scheme on that number 40 as well. Then you got JP Phillips, Dave Topher for your top 5, Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan, Courtney Nelson, James Hislop, and Matt Crockett for your top 10. So right now your points leaders coming in looking pretty decent, as obviously Alan Elwood, no surprise there, up there towards the front. Dave Topher up there inside the top 10. He's in 6th place right now, but Courtney Nelson right up there with him as well. Don't see excuse me, Ricky Renner back there in the field a little bit in 17th position right now. But, you know, Matt Crockett right now in the top 10. Maybe a big swing here tonight. You never know. And then you got Jeremy Gainey right now is he in the field is the question, as we get back on the loud paddle. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, he is in the field. He's unfortunately last right now as he's working back up there. But back under green flag conditions. But can they keep it green here for a lap? Tyler Skozen down to the inside. Alan Elwood on the outside gets a major run off the corner. Nico Garcia now slides up to the outside to try and join his teammate. Elwood clears to get into first, and now Garcia looking to try and make the pass for second, but plenty of battling all throughout this field, as it looks like Joey Cruz having a bit of an issue coming off the corner, and big, heavy impact. And we got the big one here on the front stretch. Not sure what was going on there with Cruz, if he was just losing it coming off the corner, but slowed up big time. And it's going to bring us under another caution.
Yeah, coming down underneath the apron like that, and then I'm not quite sure what happened. I ended up going back up on the track, and obviously trying to lock it up to stay off the wall, and Jeremy Gainey with nowhere to go just lights him up in the back rear end there. You know, obviously gonna cause a ruckus with cars all over the place. The 85 getting into the 469, 85 in the Jeremy Gainey. A few drivers squeaking through as well. So definitely a tough one for some of these drivers. Did look like the 75 of Kelly Pointer went down through the pits to avoid the wreckage. So maybe get a black flag cleared for that one, because I'm sure he came down there too fast. But yeah, rough, tough, and one here on the front stretch is not quite sure what was happening with the number 28.
It looks like Kelly was actually coming in the pits to begin with, as he dove down in the pits and just, I guess, kind of opportunistic, because the wreck actually happened behind him. But quite a few cars wrapped up and involved in this one, and we got quite a few meatballs as well. Dan Phelps, Courtney Nickerson, Matthew Simmons still has a meatball, and then Jeremy Gainey gets another one. So that could be the end of the night for the 45. And that is big, because Nathan Nickerson was in second place in the points, only 9 points back. Louise are doing a 15 points back. So this thing is not done and dusted just yet. But as you've seen out front, Alan Elwood was able to take the lead, but it looks like we got some pit stops coming in here and quite a few drivers coming down into the pits. So it's going to give the lead back to Tyler Skozen here at the front. We're going to step away for a second, and then we will get right back to the racing action. quick sights and sounds there under caution as we're back to green flag racing here, and hopefully for good here, as we want to get some green flag running here in the season finale, as Tyler Skozen with a great restart here and shoots out of a cannon, gets in front of Courtney Nelson, as Nelson is now the new leader in the gold division here for the race. And again, another thing that is kind of big, because he comes in 9 points behind the driver he is just in front of right now, and that is Dave Tilford. So needing maybe a little bit of help here to get him the gold division championship. But good restart again from Tyler Skozen, now to an 0.8 of a second lead. As looking back here at Alan Elwood, he is your first driver that came into the pits, only taking fuel here. So a lot of the drivers that came in on that pit stop just one or two cars towards the back of the field, taking a set of tires. We're going to have 2 green flag laps to even wear in those tires here so far. But some close battling, almost 3 wide poke there for the 5 of Elwood, but he stays back out of it now. Nico Garcia is going to get into the back of Matt Crockett, and that is going to bring us under another caution. And just a little bit too aggressive of a move there, I think, by Nico, getting into the back, and we'll take a look at that one more time. Yeah, right there, just a little bit too good of a run, and maybe went to go for a little bit of a bump draft on the front stretch, but you can't bump in the corner of the car. It's shot the 10 hard down to the inside. James Hislop is an innocent bystander on this one as well, and we're going to be under another caution here, as his driver's just taking a little bit to get this thing rolling here. Hopefully they get some of these cobwebs off, because we want to try and finish this finale on a high note.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get under green. First 17 laps under caution is not the ideal way to have a finale race, for sure, especially for some of those that are trying to finish up a race. Yeah, it's, obviously it is racing, but I mean, you've gone a lot of races this season with very limited caution flags, and this is not a track that really warrants like those types of races typically. Question mark. But rough start here for a few drivers, and just time to see kind of like how things kind of pan out here, as the night is still young with only 17 of 100 laps in the books.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as we will have still a full slate of action the rest of the week. No CSRL yet tomorrow night. They're just having a little fun run tomorrow night before they kick off the season next week. But we will have pit road speed limit racing the second half of our normal Wednesday doubleheader tomorrow night, and then virtual velocity racing to finish out the week. So keep in tune here to CRN to get you some racing action yet. But we still got plenty of racing left in this one, and it looks like, I believe that is Nathan Nickerson getting his lap back, as he was the lucky dog, I believe. Or was that, sorry, that was actually the other Nickerson. That was Courtney Nickerson getting her lap back to get back on the lead lap. So it'll give us 24. Actually, not even back on the lead lap. Just getting a lap back here to go back to 1 lap down. So 22 cars on the lead lap currently. We got a couple that need to serve a black flag. Kelly Pointer, Randy Yoakum still have a black flag. Looks like James Hislop and Matt Crockett. Not sure if they had to tow back to the pits. I don't think they had to, but no, correction, they did. They both had to tow back to pit lane. So hopefully once the tow truck gets there, those meatball flags will be gone and they can rejoin the race. But they're down a few laps now, and it's going to be mighty hard for Matt Crockett to mount a charge to try and get that silver division championship the way it stands. But new leader out front, Courtney Nelson, is going to lead him back to the green flag. Nico Garcia, Alan Elwood, Luis Arduna for your top 4. Then Zane Bierman, JP Phillips, Ricky Renner, Jake Lesh, Jeff Ryan, and AJ Roderick for your top 10. I want to thank our sponsors here for the series as well. Obviously, simraces.com as the title sponsor, and then Kim's Cups and more for everything that they do for the series and a lot of the series that we broadcast here on CRN. But time to get back to racing, and again, hopefully get some green flag racing at this point.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to see some racing, not pacing. So, yeah, let's buckle it down, boys. Let's get it done. Let's get back to racing here. Still 22 drivers on the lead lap, a few with black flags. The likes of Kelly Pointer and Yoakum. I'm not sure.
Yep, yeah, both Pointer and Yoakum with a black flag.
Yeah, I thought Cruz had a black flag as well, but
yeah, I think he already served. I think he already served it. He just came in and another caution came out. But either way, back under racing here, and Nelson tries to lead him through turns 1 and 2, but a good run on the outside there from Nico Garcia, looking for the lead down the backstretch. Gets a really good run, and he's going to poke out in front, heading into turn number 3. Nelson's going to send it down to the inside, but you see that run on the outside just is so much better right now. And Nelson's going to go from first entering turn 3 to third exiting turn 4. And if he had plans on getting to the outside, that's not going to happen just yet, because Luis Orduna now moving to the outside, looking to take over third position. And JP Phillips now going to put Nelson down another. So, I mean, it's not like he's off on tire strategy from all of these cars. Some of them for sure, but it's actually, no, I don't think any of them, because they all came in on a lap 11 or 6, but they didn't take tires. They just took fuel. But, and Nelson just not enjoying this restart here at all. 3 wide right behind him, though, as you got Ricky Renner on the inside. Now it's going to settle down here a little bit. Roderick on the outside. Lesh was all the way in the outside, the third lane in line. But, I mean, we keep an eye here on Courtney Nelson, because all the racing action is happening around him. Not in the way he wants to, though, as he's getting blown by, and all of a sudden restarted in first, back down into 10th. But out front, Nico Garcia running the fastest lap of the race. He's got a 0.7 of a second lead and starting to stretch his legs. Alan Elwood in second, JP Phillips, Luis Orduna, and Jeff Ryan for your top 5.
Yeah, drivers finally picking up the pace and setting some sort of rhythm here, at least out front as they're stretching their legs. Nico Garcia really starting to run away here tonight over Alan Elwood. So if Alan wants another win of the season, he's going to have to catch that number 40 as he's kind of come up to the field. Luis Orduna obviously with some big moves with the cautions. Also Ricky Renner as well. Courtney Nickerson in the pits. But your top 5 was Nico Garcia, Alan Elwood, JP Phillips, Luis Orduna, Jeff Ryan.
Yeah, some good battling here as Orduna, the bronze driver here, and looking to sneak back into the bronze championship. Jeremy Gainey having his issues early on in the race. It's very well a possibility with only a 15-point deficit for Orduna coming into tonight. But he's got Nathan Nickerson in front of him in the points as well, and I don't believe Nathan Nickerson is out. No, it's Courtney Nickerson that's out here tonight. So a very real possibility here for Luis Orduna. Wasn't sure he's going to make it here tonight. He made it, and maybe able to make himself a champion here as well. Looking for that bronze division championship, but a lot of racing left to go. We're only about a quarter of the way through this race as we're coming up on lap number 25 here in a moment. Garcia leads it by 1.5 seconds over Alan Elwood. Elwood's got a 1 second lead over Jeff Ryan. And then the pack. I mean, you want to talk about a battlefield here, Jimmy? We got a major battlefield up here in the top 10.
Yeah, but obviously back here as a Crane is looking forward to maybe, not get involved in that battlefield right now, just kind of hanging out there right behind them. Not too far away, just kind of watching everybody going 2 wide, 2.5 wide. Lots of battling going on here, so these drivers, right behind this battlefield, just paying a little bit of caution because they're pretty racy back here as those drivers are trying to get up to the next position, trying to chase down that third place of Jeff Ryan at the moment. You know what they're doing, battling each other, is allowing the 40 and 5 to stretch their legs and kind of get out here. And you know, maybe early on was just some early cautions, and finally coming back down to reality that they need to let these tires warm up and just kind of be careful and be patient. You know, don't miss the pit entry. You know, and then try to gas it to get back going again. You know, it's just silly mistakes that you're not expecting to see at the end of a season that have kind of plagued the beginning of the race. But now we're back under green here. We've been green for about 10 laps, and now things are looking good. You know, obviously leads out to 5 seconds, which is amazing. And then obviously you have the big bull battle for Pete right behind P number 3 as they're trying to work their way around. We do have another group back there, though, led by John Crane, Joey Cruz, Dave Tilford back in there, Courtney Nelson in the pack there as well. So, you know, obviously some good driving going on here for the next couple cars back. And looking farther, a little bit farther back from there, you get behind Courtney Nelson is Colin, then number 67, Robert Matthews is finding himself in 17th, Steve Harris in the top 20 and 18th. Terry Jansen is back up 19th, and TJ Johnson through top 20.
What's kind of amazing is we were watching the battlefield up at the front of this field, and normally when we watch a battle on the track from the TV cameras here, it looks, you know, kind of calm, you know, ish. Yeah, there's, you know, maybe 2-3 wide racing, and heck of a save there from Orduna as he gets in the wall, almost gets into Tyler Skosen. But a great job of saving it. Going to lose some time and spots here. But again, as I was saying, it looks, you know, a little bit calmer. But then you get into the cockpit and you realize how crazy it actually is being involved in that pack. But kind of the opposite here at Homestead. I mean, watching the from the TV cameras here and you know, the battlefield at the front, it looks crazy. There's just a ton of cars all on top of each other, different lines. But then you get in the car, we're riding around there with Matthew Simmons, a lap car there trying to hang with the group, and then riding with Tyler Skosen a little bit. It doesn't seem that bad. It just seems like a nice, you know, leisurely cruise. You're in traffic, but you know, you're going at a good clip, and there's nothing really to worry about. But man, it's a lot going on up here at the front, and this is all inside the top 10. And Luis are doing a top running bronze driver right now, but maybe just trying to hang on after that brush with the wall. But he's going to put almost 3 wide as Bierman thought about shooting the gap. He's going to fall back in line here. But meanwhile, out front, Alan Elwood is in front once again here as he runs that high line, running all the way up at the wall. He takes over the top spot from his teammate Nico Garcia. They're both 2 seconds in front of your third place driver right now, which is JP Phillips. And he kind of leads the group right now that is trying to chase them down. Tommy Ryan in fourth, and Jake Lesh, 3 drivers that we were used to seeing in a previous league over that UCRL. Then Tyler Skosen, Jeff Ryan, Ricky Renner, AJ Roderick, and Zane Bierman round out your top 10. As very quickly, you know, we went from a lot of caution laps in the beginning. All of a sudden, we're a third of the way through this race.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. I have to nice, not a super short lap. Obviously, they're in the 30 plus seconds per lap. It's a pretty decent track to run here. Got great racing. You usually seen they were too wide for quite some time, but the tires are kind of pittered out a little bit as running too wide is not maybe the best idea. I still see some drivers obviously making some moves down the inside and make some passes. Back here with Joey Cruz now up and P number 11 being followed by Dave Tilford. Just kind of running a different line as, you know, still running that white line, but you still have a few drivers trying to get that outside line to kind of work, getting the momentum on the outside. It does work. As you know, Joey Cruz was able to get, you know, alongside the 69 and the 49, you know, by the middle of the turn, but not quite clear. And as they come off the corner, just no momentum. So losing that what space he did, you know, unless he comes up like he just did in front of the 69, he's got to stop that momentum or they get it back.
Good idea of what kind of speeds they're doing as it goes over top of the CRN logo, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll keep that there for now. No sense changing it right now as they're going upwards of
180?
just maybe tapping the 180s here tonight at Homestead, and then all the way down to the mid 130s here. So big, disparity when it comes to the speed here. But you're still holding, a good clip there. You're letting it roll through the corner, especially through the first maybe half of the corner before you're starting to get back in the throttle and start working it up through there. But right now, we'll take a look at our division leaders, and that is Alan Elwood at the front with a 1.5 second lead now over JP Phillips, because Nico Garcia is starting to slip back here a little bit. Maybe use those tires up a little bit too quickly at the front. Jake Lesh is your top running gold driver, getting really closer to Tyler Skozen. Your top running silver driver is the silver points leader, that is Ricky Renner. And now John Crane is your leader in the bronze, because Luis Orduna has come into the pits, and you got to imagine that we'll probably see Ricky Renner and a few others coming in here very soon, because they have yet to touch pit road. So I would think maybe this lap or next lap we'll see that 53 come down into pit lane and make his first pit stop of the night. But a lot of the rest of the drivers pit on lap number 11, and then there you go, the 53 now dropping down onto the apron into pit lane. Just got to get it down to that pit road speed. He does just that, and he'll get his first pit stop out of the way. But out front, now only 1 second lead, as the rest of the field running him down just a little bit. Alan Elwood in the lead, but JP Phillips starting to put in some pretty decent lap times here. And maybe this is a night where we can finally get a chance to talk to JP once again. It's not exactly been a great season for him this season. Hasn't been able to run it in every race, but not exactly the finishes we're used to seeing from old JP, as he's only been able to get to, this is his 6th race of the season, but only 2 top 5s to speak of. And we're used to JP having a little bit better runs than that. No wins on the season yet, but hey, no better time to grab a win than the last race of the season, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, one way to finish it up would be to get that win here, and obviously just running a little different line, and just not being in the car every week can be a hindrance. Obviously, coming out here still doing decent at some of the races, but getting tied up into something, and not trying to push it too hard to be getting people's way. But sometimes it's just unfortunate, and that's what happens. But right now, it's gonna go ahead and be he's gonna be in second place as he tries to continue to track down the likes of Alan Elwood here. Lap number 40, so not quite that halfway mark. We did have some cautions, obviously, throughout. They did stop, so you've seen a couple of drivers come down and pit. I don't think they're in the window to make it the whole way, but I don't think that's in the realm of possibility. So I'm sure they're probably thinking another caution is going to happen. But you can see the 2 totally different lines that the 20 and the 5 are running. They're about as opposite as one can get.
Yeah, watching the battle here between AJ Roderick and Dave Tilford, kind of the same thing. Tilford running the high line, but not paying off right now, as Roderick has moved up a spot here on Tilford, and now Tilford under threat from Courtney Nelson here, but he has already come into the pits. So lap car right now, and I believe, no, he actually did not take tires there, so trying to play maybe a different strategy here tonight, as we got some major changes for the CORE GT series coming up for next season, but even some changes here for the CORE O'Reilly series for next season. But one thing that's not changing is the sponsors, and I want to send a shout out to of course, again, our series sponsors here for the CORE Xfinity Series, soon to be the CORE O'Reilly Series, and that is simraces.com, as they're going to be back on board as a title sponsor again for next season. And I'm sure Kim's Cups and more will be there to help out as well. And then over on the CORE GT side, it is once again going to be Chase Decals coming on board. So a big thank you to Josh Anderson over there for all the help and support he's had, as well as the drivers here from Sim Races with Ricky Renner, Nathan Nickerson, and a few of the other drivers that run both here in the Xfinity Series / O'Reilly Series and over in the GT as well. But we got some pit stops underway. Your 2 leaders into the pits, Alan Elwood and JP Phillips in, AJ Roderick, Nico Garcia, Jake Lesh, BJ Jackson all in the pits. It's going to give the lead over to the first time tonight, Tommy Ryan in the 66, as we'll see him maybe try and stretch it out a lap or two longer. Tyler Skozen last pit on lap 17, so he's got 6 more laps that he can stay out here and maybe do some damage, and maybe just stay out in hopes that a caution comes out. You see late turn in there from the 66 of Ryan. Does get it slowed up to pit road speed as brother Jeff Ryan going to come in right behind him as well. So now it's going to be the drivers that came in on lap 17 to take their pit stops. They're going to move their way to the front. So the top 5 right now, Skozen, Cruz, Tilford, Flickinger, and Matthews, all pit on lap 17. So they got maybe 6 laps or so that they can keep running out there. Maybe hope for a caution and put them in a really, really advantageous situation, because you see that leaderboard, there's a lot of negative ones, or I guess plus ones if you're, if you know your math terms. But a lot of drivers 1 lap down right now. You see Alan Elwood getting his lap back the hard way and making it a whopping 6 drivers on the lead lap right now. So this would be a huge turn of events if a caution were to come out at this point. But we're not hoping for it. It would help these top 5 out. But loving this green flag racing that we finally got a chance to see here tonight.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, Carl. I mean, like I said, it was kind of rare. Some of the incidents were kind of questionable. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about afterwards. But, back finally under green here, 47 laps in out of the 100. Not quite the halfway mark. So there's going to be at least 1 more pit stop. But it's like when does people come in and pit? You can see right here the likes of Tyler Skozen kind of staying out, stretching out the set of tires, maybe trying to hope for, to, get the upper hand here with a later caution. But, a lot of drivers kind of getting back on the front lap here, but he's going to call it quits here on them older tires, or bring that number 55 down into pit lane. Will his pit strategy work here? He's on lap number 47, so couldn't quite make the halfway mark, and that was with about 15, and caution flag flies as he comes in. So, well, what do you do?
It'll work out nicely for Skozen and Cruz, because they'll be on those fresh tires and be able to come back out here. They'll be able to get their pit stop done without getting a black flag. Dave Tilford did not join them in the pits. Now the question is, does he have enough fuel to get around here for another 2 laps? Because the pace car was not out. They already crossed the line, so they're going to pick up the pace car this time by. Then the next time by is when pit road will open. So some maybe nervous moments right now for the 12 if he can get that thing around for another lap. And again, he's looking to wrap up the Gold Division Championship here. 9-point lead over Courtney Nickerson, 24 over Jake Lesh, and both of them have shown their way to the front here tonight. Right now, Jake Lesh running in 6th, Nelson running in 9th, but they both completed their pit stops. The last one that needs to complete his pit stop is right here. It is Dave Tilford, and again, can he make it, as the pace car is going to come out right in front of the 12, and I'm sure that clutch pedal is probably pushed in harder than he's been pushing in the throttle here all night.
Well, I'll just go ahead and hop on board with Mr. Dave Tilford. I'm not slave to Carl at the moment, but we're going to go into here real quick if I can catch the camera.
Oh, well, we'll do it here as well, as Tilford taking the access road, and it is legal for him to take the access road down here as long as he doesn't pass the pace car. But you hear nothing. Or very, very little here from the 12, but he's going to make it at least to pit entry here, and now he's going to work his way down, so he will make it back to his pit stall and get his pit stop done here. But it's going to be very interesting to see how this thing all plays out. It looks like, I believe Alan Elwood will cycle out as your leader. Quite a few drivers going to be getting back on the lead lap via the waiver round, and we should be back to 17 cars on the lead lap. And I want to thank, just completely lost my train of thought here for a while. We talked about all the series sponsors here for the race, but didn't talk about the race sponsor itself, and that is Nelson's Tea, as this is the Nelson's Tea 100, the Loose Leaf Classic here for the season finale. And I want to thank Stephen Harris and everything that he's done here, not just for for creating the GoFundMe account to help out myself and Jimmy for CRN to get us up to par, up to snuff, and get some good quality broadcasting for you, but also a broadcast here for, or the not a broadcast, a sponsorship here for the final race of the season. And certainly check out Nelson's Tea, and you can use Throttle 20 to throttle up your tea collection for 20% off, as it's one of their coupons. Or if you want to use Winner 20, you can use that as well, because certainly you like to be a winner when no matter what you're doing, especially if you're getting some tea under your belt here as well. And Harris is going to get a lap back under his belt as well and rejoin the lead lap here. And we'll get this thing back underway. It is indeed going to be Alan Elwood, your leader here for the restart. JP Phillips in second, Jake Lesh, Tommy Ryan on row number 2. Then you got Zane Bierman caught up in the issue earlier on in the race, but he's now back up into the top 5. Then you got Jeff Ryan, Tyler Skozen, Joey Cruz, Dave Tilford, and Ricky Renner for your top 10. But definitely, I like the place right now that Dave Tilford's in. He's got some newer tires compared to everybody else. At least 2 lap newer tires than just about everybody around him. But some of his close competition in the race and in the points, Courtney Nelson is only 2 spots lining up right behind him. He's got those fresh tires as well. Looks like we're going to have one more caution lap here just to make sure the field gets caught up here and gets all tidied up here 2 by 2. So the pace car lights are going to go out. We'll get it back to racing next time by. We just crossed the halfway mark here in the race, so we still got quite a bit of racing left to go here. But it's been an adventurous first half of the race. We had a nice little green flag run there. Got to see almost a full green flag pit stop cycle go through all but one car. All but Dave Tilford came in and made their green flag pit stop. So we'll see what the second half of the race has in store for us. But Jimmy, I think it's about time for one last time this season, and maybe the last time ever for the CORE Xfinity Series, to get a little love to hear it.
Want to hear it?
Sights and sounds here from the CORE Xfinity Series presented by SimRaces.com. Season finale here at Homestead Miami under the lights, and not disappointing here so far as we're 2/3 of the way through this race right now. New leader out front is Tommy Ryan, but only a quarter second ahead of Tyler Skosen right now. We've been keeping an eye on the battle right there towards the back half of the top 10, and that got close there as Cruz gets in there behind Jeff Ryan. Looking for a way around, but it is Tommy Ryan, Tyler Skosen, J.P. Phillips, Jake Lesh, Alan Elwood for your top 5. Then you got Renner, Tilford, Ryan, Cruz, Nelson for your top 10. But we're going to be battling here a lot through the top 10. After the top 10, it's spread out for the most part. A couple of battles here and there. You got John Crane trying to run down Robert Matthews up in front of him. And then you got Luis Orduna trying to hang on to the group in front of him as well. As we've seen Orduna up there in the top 5 for a little bit here tonight, but is kind of falling back here a little bit ever since he had to brush with the wall. But Tommy Ryan still leads it out there. Take a look back up here at the battle out front. Ricky Renner now to the inside of Alan Elwood, battled for 5th position here on the track. But they will be looking at one more pit stop before this thing is over. So, when do you come in? We had the last caution kind of right around the midway point of this race. So, do you want to split this thing, pretty much right in half, come in around lap number 75? Do you want to run this thing out so you have the freshest tires for the end of this race? Do you want to short pit and come in early and maybe try and build that advantage before the back half of this race? Is now Alan Elwood staves off the battle from Renner and goes to battle himself as he dives to the inside here of Jake Lesh. Moves it back up into 4th position as he is about 2.5 seconds right now behind leader Tommy Ryan. But you see all the Platinum drivers towards the front except for Nico Garcia. He had to serve a penalty, drive-through penalty, and he is back there in 23rd position. The only Platinum driver not up there towards the front, but after the Platinum drivers, it's not a gold driver. It is Ricky Renner right there having a good race here. Currently in 5th position as he leads the silver class here tonight, the silver division. And then you got the top 5 gold drivers right behind him, rounding out your top 10. But either way, good restart here from the middle of the race, and we get some good green flag racing since. We should be seeing those pit stops come up here pretty soon.
Yeah, they should be coming, and if I'm the leader, obviously going to try to stretch it out as much as possible. But I would be watching, the drivers behind me. So as soon as somebody probably came in, it'd be like, do I come in this lap or the next? So you don't get undercut. And how much of a lead do I have? So Tommy out there with a nice little, only half a second lead over Tyler Skosen, but back to a second. Excuse me, 2 seconds. Back to J.P. Phillips, I believe. Yeah, almost 2 seconds. So it's kind of like the way you kind of want to balance it. Like you don't want to lose too much time, but from an undercut, but you don't want to come in too early and then a caution comes out and you're by yourself.
Dave Tilford now catching up through this field here as well as he took tires again on lap number 49, some of the newest tires here in the field, trying to put him to work here as he runs up on the back of Jake Lesh and the top 6 here, just getting around Joey Cruz in 8th position. But again, some good battling out there. I want to thank everyone in CRN Nation tuning in here tonight. Some good numbers out there. Pretty quiet out there in the chat room though, so I want to thank those that are out there watching that we know of. Obviously, Barry out there, Adela, KP definitely didn't have the night that he wanted, that being Kelly Pointer, and then of course Mike Casey out there enjoying the off season as he's definitely a frequent here on CRN when 191 Motorsports is not running, and maybe a frequent up here in the booth as well, coming up very soon as well. So looking forward to working with Mike and getting him all set up to join the team here at CRN and maybe bring some racing action himself to everyone out there in CRN Nation. But right now, laps are clicking down, and we are running down towards the end of this thing. as we got about 25 laps left in the race. Tommy Ryan leads by 0.7 of a second, and then it's another 1.5 seconds almost back to JP Phillips in third place. Alan Elwood has certainly plenty of company with Ricky Renner just nipping at his heels, just will not go away. He's like a little chihuahua down there, a little terrier, and it just keep running that bottom line, and it will not let him go. It's kind of one of the only battles on the track right now that's just going back and forth, and that was close as JP Phillips comes into the pits, and whoo, my heart skipped a beat right there for sure, seeing what was going on, but they survived. Nothing to see here.
No black flag.
Nothing to see here. JP Phillips made it in and didn't get hit. Courtney Nelson also in the pits as well. So the last and final pit cycle of the season under green has started. So now when does everybody else decide to come into the pits? Looks like Colin Flicker, you're also into the pits. Tommy Ryan, your leader, gets it locked up just in time to get down off the track and into pit lane as Alan Elwood, Joey Cruz going to join him this time by. Tyler Skozen, your pole sitter here tonight, going to go around for at least another lap. Ricky Renner is going to do so as well as Dave Tilford and AJ Roderick. Those next three last pit on lap number 49 as they were able to stretch it out there a little bit. So we'll see them maybe stretch out this run in hopes of another caution. But now Tyler Skozen going to drop down into pit lane, as will Ricky Renner. Dave Tilford's going to drop down as well. We'll see AJ Roderick coming around at this time by. He is going to stay out in the number 56, and he's going to take over the lead here tonight. Good to see AJ back out there, and whether he wants to or not, looks like he's going to be looking at a green flag pit stop here in maybe a lap or two. But been running pretty good here tonight. Qualified just outside the top 10 out there in 12th position, so he's up 11 spots as it stands right now. But in the midst of the final pit cycle of the season, and not sure what happened to Nico Garcia, but I see that he jumped into the pits, so not sure if he had some issues or what the case was, but either way, not exactly the night that Garcia wanted to have on the season finales. He was running very well early in the race, but now AJ Roderick is going to come into the pits. Now, very interesting call from a couple of the drivers out there. Jimmy, 4 tires weren't on the menu for the 2 that are going to cycle out to first and second. You see them right there on your screen. Tommy Ryan, JP Phillips, a little 2-tire action.
Yeah, I mean, trying to make sure that, they get as much as possible. I mean, Tommy had some of the older tires out there and was able to kind of, stay out front. And obviously, I think it's going to pay off for Tommy, being able to do that. And that maybe something to, obviously you see that JP Phillips is able to make it work. And that he's got a pretty good commanding lead at the moment over not JP Phillips, but back to Alan Elwood, which would be who you're, kind of keeping your eye on, along with Tyler Skozen. So those 2 are going to be, trying not to battle too much right now. I mean, I'm sure JP Phillips and Tommy Ryan would love for the 5 and the 55 to battle it out here and not to take their time together and maybe wait about maybe 15 laps or so and maybe catch up, because they are closing in just ever so slightly. But they start battling. That's all she wrote there for those drivers. But is that lead enough for the 66 and 20 to hold off the 55 and 5?
What is Tommy Ryan, JP Phillips, Alan Elwood, Tyler Skozen, Jake Lesh for your top 5. Then you got Ricky Renner, Courtney Nelson, Jeff Ryan, Joey Cruz, and Dave Tilford for your top 10. So Tilford maybe in a little bit of a worrisome spot right now. 4 spots behind Courtney Nelson. Again, top points battles very tight in the gold division coming into tonight with only 9 points separating Nelson and Tilford. Keeping an eye back on Luis Arduna, running in 20th right now. I'm not sure how far up he needs to finish, with Jeremy Gainey being out of the race, finishing dead last year tonight in 29th. And a real shame as he came in as the points leader. But Nathan Nickerson not here tonight, so he doesn't have to worry about the driver 9 points behind him. But that driver 15 points behind him, Luis Orduna, has had a pretty good early part to the night. Maybe not so much right now, but still doing good, still trucking along there in 20th position and hoping to finish high enough to maybe steal the Bronze Division Championship here on championship night. But out front by 1 second, Tommy Ryan leads it over JP Phillips, who has still got about 4.1 seconds back to Alan Elwood. And, you know, with the amount of laps left, you would think, 4 seconds, it's not that much. But 2 tires, will eventually be equal to 4 tires. You just got to, run them long enough, and those drivers with the 4 tires got to kind of wear their tires in long enough that they kind of equal out. So at what point will they equal out? Will Alan Elwood be able to run down your front 2 before that happens and be able to mount any kind of charge? Right now it looks like Tommy Ryan is trying to put a charge into it. He's 1 second in front, but we'll be losing a little bit of time right now to JP Phillips. Maybe we'll see them battling here at the end of this thing. But it's been a pretty good race here since the second half started here, as we had the last caution right around the midway point of the race. Looks like Terry Jansen may have picked up a meatball somewhere along the lines, and I'm not seeing exactly where it happened. Maybe right here. We'll take a look as the Snoopy versus the Bronze Division. That didn't look right at all. And, well, it looked a lot of left, I can tell you that. But it almost looked like maybe some hardware issues to put him down on the inside of wall and end the night for the 00. But out front again, Tommy Ryan lead coming down here just a little bit, as it is down to 0.8 of a second. Still 4 seconds back from the lead to Alan Elwood, who was your first driver with 4 tires. But this could be why, because Tyler Skozen, not sure if they're battling or if Skozen's trying to work with Elwood to try and get to the front. But I mean, you see taking completely different lines on the track. Skozen all the way down the white line, Alan Elwood all the way up at the wall on the outside. And you see they kind of meet coming off the corner. Elwood with just a little bit better of a run out of the corner. Skozen maybe a little bit better run into and through the middle of the corner. But they're not really helping each other out that much right now to gain up to the front of this pack. And now they're going to be side by side, and that's not going to help out either. But now Skozen's going to drop in a line. And Jimmy, the clock is ticking here, as we're going to be back to the line this time by. It's going to be 13 laps left in this race. So the season coming down to an end, the race coming down to an end. Will we have a different winner here on the season? And we only had 3 different winners on the season, as Kelly Pointer was able to take the season opener. Tyler Skozen won a little bit later in the season. Other than that, it's been all Alan Elwood. 7 wins on the season. He's won a little over 70% of the races up to this point, and if he doesn't win tonight, it'll be an even 70% for the season. But he'd love to finish this thing on a high note, get win number 8 to cap off this amazing championship this season. But Tyler Skozen, again, could be the last race to see him here in CORE. He'd love to finish out there on top. Tommy Ryan, JP Phillips, both of them would like to crack through and finally get a win here again in the CORE Xfinity Series as well. So this is a lot of the line here at the end of the season for all of these Platinum Series drivers. And hey, I mean, Ricky Renner beating all the gold drivers as of right now, still holding on to 5th place, doing a great job, and looking to wrap up his championship in the silver division as well.
Yeah, obviously a lot of things going down on the track here. Positions. I have seen a few incidents on the track, and the drivers immediately jump into the pits. So AJ Roderick crashed and exited. PG Jackson crashed and exited as well during this run here. We're down to 11 laps to go here at the final race of the season, as Tommy Ryan is your leader over JP Phillips by not quite a second. So JP trying to battle or track him down here for the final laps. A little too early yet, but should maybe try to get that back bumper is what JP wants to do. But the battle continues here between the 55 and 5 as the 2 different lines are kind of see how they worked out. And the lower line just being a little bit better here. at the moment, but has not allowed them to gain at all on the likes of Tommy Ryan. So been stale 4 or 5 seconds, 4 tires not equaling 2, up front, and Tommy able to hold on to that lead here as we still have 9 laps. So anything can happen. Somebody can wreck or whatever, ties them up. And it's a whole different ball game. So. But right now, it's Tommy Ryan, JP Phillips, Tyler Skills, and Alan Elwood, and Ricky Renner for your top 5. Then you have Jake Clutch, Joey Cruz, Courtney Nelson, Dave Tilford, Jeff Bryan for your top 10. And obviously a few drivers not on the lead lap there. Biggest mover of the race, though, right now is going to go to Ricky Renner, up 17 spots. And then a close second there would be in 12th, Robert Matthews, and the number 119. Haven't talked about Robert much at all, but running the Winn-Dixie machine out there. So having a pretty decent run for himself as he's made it halfway through the pack.
You take a look at the lap times there, and you see not that much green from Phillips or Skozen, and Skozen's kind of the one that, if you're Tommy Ryan, you'd be keeping an eye on, as Jimmy mentioned earlier. But really minimal gains, and really, if you look at the last 5 laps there, it's actually hasn't been a gain at all. If you equal everything out, we'll see what it is this lap by, as it took Skozen a little bit of time to get around Alan Elwood. You see right there losing about 1/10.5, and now Alan Elwood going to lose out another position here, as Ricky Renner going to move himself into 4th position here, as Elwood starting to slip back here a little bit, and kind of reminiscent a little bit of last season finale, where Elwood may had a shot to do something on the season finale, but just didn't seem like he had the car at I believe it was Auto Club where he finished last season. But here it looked like he had a pretty decent car, especially early on in the race, but now late in the race he's got 4 fresh tires, but doesn't seem like he's been able to make any kind of inroads here at the end, and actually slipping back here a little bit as we continue to run on. Tommy Ryan now 1.5 seconds in front, and then you got another 3.5 seconds from JP Phillips and Tyler Skozen. So it could be a race that Tommy Ryan it's all in his hands right now. It's his to lose at this point. He's certainly made a great call with the 2-tire strategy. JP Phillips doing the same thing. Certainly aware with control the cars here enough on those kind of opening laps coming out of the pits. And you take 2 tires, you take those 2 right side tires. Not sure what they were dealing with here tonight, whether it's loose car, tight car, but it may help the car rotate through the corners just a little bit better with those 2 tires. And certainly it's rotating Tommy Ryan to the front of this field and to the 4 laps to go as well. So can the 66 get the final win here on the season?
And it's looking like that car, obviously, with the nice 2-second lead here going on. That's a 0.5 second a lap that JP Phillips would need to get around the number 66 here. But JP trying to hold on as he's got a little bit of time back there for Tyler Skozen. Tyler Skozen kind of in the same boat, but needs almost 3/4 second a lap. So looking pretty glum there for some of these drivers trying to make position, but they're going to keep going and running a race. Never know what's going to happen. Maybe a slip up or a mistake. You'll find themselves closing a lot of distance quickly. Ricky Renner was able to get around Alan Elwood. Alan Elwood kind of back there, just running the high side. And I think for the 5 here tonight, after winning 7 races, kind of knowing that he has the championship locked up, just let's not
little Tuesday cruise.
Yeah, just a little Tuesday cruise. Get out there, show the colors of the new SWM machinery, and just enjoy his championship here. No reason to cause a ruckus. So, maybe it's not his favorite track. Maybe he just wanted to practice running the high line. I mean, you don't. It's getting up near the wall is not always easy for some cars, and I'm not saying Alan doesn't have his fair share of getting around tracks, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and especially how you feel with these in particular cars. So Alan doing a great job, still great race. Only down he didn't qualify on the pole, so wasn't the fastest there from the rip, but only down a couple spots, still in the top 5, still very respectable. We're on the final lap as Tommy Ryan is taking the white flag.
one more lap in the season at this point. Tommy Ryan looking to become only the fourth different winner on the season, but winning the last race definitely, leaves you with a better taste in your mouth to kind of end out the season and set your sights on the next season where there's going to be a little bit of changes here and there. We'll see what it does with the racing out there on the track. But here tonight, the racing was, I think, very good, and I think this is a very good final. Certainly, I think Tommy Ryan's going to think that for sure, as he's going to come home as your winner. JP Phillips going to be able to hold on to second, and good to see JP back up into the top spots. And Tyler Skosen, which could be his last race here in CORE, gets on the podium here as he was the pole sitter here tonight. Had a very fast number 55 UNOH machine, and gets to celebrate one more podium before it's all done and dusted. Ricky Renner, great job finishing in fourth. Not only beating all the gold drivers, but even beating your overall points champion here tonight, and that is Alan Elwood, as he's going to come home in fifth. We'll get a chance to talk to all of our winners here tonight, not just from the race here, but for the season as well, as we'll do a full wrap up. But Jimmy, before we do that, before we get them up here into the booth, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's final results?
Rundown of tonight's results here for the final race of the season for the CORE Xfinity Series for probably the last time. It will be the winner, number 66, Tommy Ryan, brings it home here tonight over the number 20 of JP Phillips. Your third place finisher here tonight will be the number 55 of Tyler Skosen. Finishing in fourth is going to be Ricky Renner. Then fifth is going to be Alan Elwood. Sixth, Jake Lesh. Seventh, Courtney Nelson. Joey Cruz finishes in the top 10 and eighth. Dave Tilford in ninth. Jeff Ryan in 10th. Zane Barron finishes in 11th. Robert Matthews in 12th. John Crane with a 13th place finish. And Randy Yoakum in 14th. Stephen Harris with a great finish here tonight in 15th. Luz Orduna, hopefully with the hopes of winning that bronze championship, finishes in 16th. Dan Phelps in 17th. Column back there in 18th. And for the rest of the field here, go back. And the 19th is going to be Matt Crockett in the number 10. PJ Jackson finishes in 20th. Matthew Simmons back in 21st. AJ Roderick with a probably disappointing night here finishes in 22nd. Terry Jansen with some troubles tonight as well in 23rd. Nico Garcia, unfortunately, back in 24th. James Hislop in 25th. Troy Snyder in 26th. Courtney Nickerson back in 27th. Kelly Pointer, not the race that he wanted here tonight, finishing in 28th. And Jeremy Gainey, obviously, rough start for that number 45, but finishes in 29th.
We had a chance to talk to a bunch of drivers here to wrap this one up here, but we're going to go ahead and start with our podium finishers, and it looks like we do have one of them ready to go here tonight. So go ahead and kick this and to rewind here a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and bring Tyler Skosen in here. Jimmy, the 55 coming home in third place.
Hey, Tyler, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. How do you copy?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, you do. Copy. I gotcha. All right. So obviously, interesting start to the evening. You did have the poll here tonight. So definitely a fast number 55. A little bit of strategy played out for the 66 and 20 right in front of you, and you had to battle the 5 in order to get that third place here tonight. But give us a little rundown on how your night was, how the track felt underneath the stars.
My goodness, where do I even begin? I mean, yeah, it started out pretty good. I honestly was not expecting pole there for us. I actually thought I severely underdrove the lap and was really worried how where we were going to start. I thought it was going to be like a fifth, eighth place, somewhere around there, and ended out with pole, which completely shocked me quite a bit there. But I mean, we had all those yellows for the. I don't know what was going on. I didn't see any issues there behind me, and yeah, I mean, I was happy we got to lead some laps at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, it was fun there, but it kind of did help out the strategy a little bit there because we were definitely going to be a little close, especially if we ran it green all the way. But a bunch of those early yellows really helped save some fuel, and I was very, very nervous when Alan took the lead from me, and then basically he and everyone else pitted in front of me, and I really didn't think they were going to, so I really didn't want to just like hook a right onto pit lane and wreck myself or wreck someone. So just kind of went there and dealt with it. And that caution where I did pit the first time, it was I really didn't want to pit there. I was really, really debating it, but at that point, I was like, you know what, I might have a few laps better on these guys in front of me, and um, eventually it kind of worked out. I would say, especially really worked out when we were on pit road around midway, and then the caution came out and had a little bit of a tire advantage, but we didn't really have as much of an advantage as I thought we were going to. I think I just really needed to take the lead sooner and not get stuck behind Tommy the whole time. Because after we got a few laps and our tires were basically evened out, I was just basically kind of struggling for grip. It was super super tight. And then from there, I don't know. I don't really know what else I really could have done honestly, but I mean to even answer what you said before half the track, but it felt pretty good. I've always enjoyed this racetrack quite a bit, especially on the bottom. I've really been able to get that spot to work out really, really well. Um, I don't know. The setup was tough to work with. There is a lot tighter than I really wanted it to be, but it still handled okay. But I guess at the end of the day, it was all right at the end. Good finish, good podium, and yeah, I don't know where I really could have done anything different to be a little bit better at the end.
Well, either way, you had a great race here tonight. Put on a show for the fans out here. Possibly your last race here for with the core series, but obviously, if you come back, obviously doors wide open for you to do that. But hopefully, whatever you decide to do from this day forward, you prosper and you have great finishes, and we hope to definitely see you on the track for sure. But for tonight, we want to say congratulations on that third place finish. Give you a little bit of time for any challenge you might have in at number 55.
Yeah, of course. Whether it's going to be my final race, probably not officially, but full time, yeah, we'll probably be moving on here. But it was still a decent way to end out my what is it, 3 seasons here. Wish we could have had a little bit more success there over these past 3 years. Had a few more wins. We were awfully close quite a bit, and still was a good finish overall. Got a pole, led some laps, and ended out on the podium. And hey, we even gained on Allen for the lead. I mean, it didn't matter at all in the points, but we finished ahead of him more than I thought we would. So I was very pleased to end out the season that way. But of course, big shout out to all you guys broadcasting the race, and then all of you that handle core. It's been really, really fun running with you guys for quite a few seasons here. It's been really good to compete. Of course, I want to thank all the competitors, of course, that I've raced with over the last few seasons. Great battles. Not all moments were great, but that's going to happen. And of course, all the friends and family who watch at home. It was great having all support this season, and of course UNOH for having themselves on the car. And it's always been good to get them good finishes. We should get them a few bit more wins here, but at least we have the consistency for them. And yeah, it's been a ton of fun. And yeah, glad. I wish we could have got a few positions better there at the end, but I think third is about the best that we had.
Well, either way, you had a great season. Again, thank you for the shout outs, and hope to see you back on track. But for this one, we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Of course, thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, Tyler Skozen, in the 55. Great run, and your highest finisher taking 4 tires on the last pit stop. But the first man that took 2 tires, or one of the drivers that took 2 tires, is going to be your second place finisher here tonight, JP Phillips. JP, you and Tommy both deciding to take 2 tires on that last pit stop and just say deuces to the field and walk away from them after the pit stop. But I got to wonder, were you guys working together at all? Were you in the same Discord channel at all, talking this one out, or did you just kind of organically both decide to take the right strategy here at the end?
No, all the credit goes to Tommy. I wasn't even thinking about it. And he's like, "Hey, let's try 2 tires. We don't got anything to lose." And I'm like, "Sure, I'll go for it." The thing was so tight. The car just would not turn. The low fuel, the cool track temps. So it seemed like a good idea, and obviously it worked. And heck, he even cruised away. I don't think anybody was even catching him. So unbelievable call to Tommy. Big shout out to him. I think it maybe gained me a spot or two there in the running order.
No, it certainly was fun to watch you guys out there, and it looked like maybe you had something for Tommy there at the end. You started reeling him in a little bit. It was out to like a second and a half, and then all of a sudden it was down to about 8/10 of a second. Was there ever a chance that you thought, maybe you can sneak away this win here?
Yeah, and I probably should have kept running my line. I went up and tried the top one lap just to see what was there with about 10 laps to go, and there was nothing up there, and it just like instantly heated the tires up, and even when I went back to the bottom, I could tell the difference in the car, and I had lost all speed, so I was just hanging on from there. Should have just kept running the line I was running because you're right, I was catching him a tenth or so a lap, and if I could have got to him. He might have had to watch out with his rear bumper there. It's his last race of the year.
You're damn right, exactly. Show him who's boss. But either way, it's got to feel good to finally get back out here. I know you weren't able to run, kind of a full season this season, only your sixth race out there, but you get to finish up there on the podium at least, and finish the season on a high note. So it's got to feel good to at least do that here.
Yeah, I wish I could have got to run all the races. It was weird. It's like everything went on Tuesday nights, and I could just never get home in time. So glad to run the ones that I was able to run. Had several good runs, and hopefully we get to do them all next season.
Well, hopefully we'll see that 20 out there, and we'll certainly be looking forward to you getting up here on the podium once more. But either way, take some time to celebrate this one before we let you go. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Shout out to was it simracers.com for putting this on. It's been a great field, a great run, good running with Tommy and the guys up front, Tyler, Elwood, Allen, all season long there. So always a lot of fun here.
Well, it was definitely fun having you here for the season. Looking forward to seeing you back out there for season number 8. But take some time, enjoy the off season here, and we'll see you back hopefully right at the start here coming up in just a few weeks in April.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
That's your second place finisher here tonight, the 20 of JP Phillips. Unfortunately, some Discord issues here for your winner, Tommy Ryan, so not going to be able to get a chance to talk to him here tonight. And there's definitely some Discord issues for a few members here in Core, so something we're going to have to.
VPN.
Yeah, well, no, it's just it's asking some people to verify with their phone numbers, but the phone numbers that are associated with their account aren't working. So yada yada, a lot of back and forth here. But we got some more drivers to get to some interviews, and well, we'll keep the old UCRL train going here because your top finisher here in the Gold Division tonight is going to be the 51 of Jake Lesh.
Jake, Jimmy Carl up the booth. You copy?
Loud and clear. How you guys doing?
Well, I'm glad I'm loud and clear. I try to be, but doing great up here. Obviously, 51 running great here tonight, up 8 spots from your starting position. As we were up there, I believe, even in the top 5, battling in the. Just couldn't quite seem to keep up with the some of them drivers up there, but you had a great finish. You did get the top finishing spot here for the Gold Division, and you've had a lot of great races this year, and hopefully you continue racing here on Tuesday nights, and we get to see that 51 up here more often. But want to get your side of the story and how it was here tonight. I know early on was a little bit of a ruckus, but it did manage out to be a pretty decent race there at the end.
Yeah, early on it was kind of a mess, but I think I had a little too much pace going on early on, so I hurt my tires right away. But it also helped me get to the front, starting in the middle of the pack. So, if I'd gone back and did it differently now, I'd probably started a little slower on both of these runs. Probably would have helped me out a little bit at the end. But overall, I don't know. I mean, it's a good night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good night. Obviously, you get that great finish here tonight, and you get up here, get to talk to us one last time for this season. So we want to say congratulations as always. But before we let you go and celebrate it, we'll go ahead and give you some time for any shots you might have.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate David for winning the gold championship. He had a great season this year, and really appreciate running with him. I appreciate you guys in the booth, and I actually really enjoy running here. So like to come out here and have fun, and it's been a good season, and glad you guys put this on.
Really appreciate the shout outs. Look forward to seeing you next season. But for this one here, we'll let you go and go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
is your gold division winner here tonight. Sixth place finish for the 51 of Jake Lesh. Now we'll get to our championship interviews, and kind of worked out nice here. We can get a little 2-for-1 action here as we'll get to interview the silver division winner here tonight, as well as the silver division champion, and that is going to go to the 53 of Ricky Renner. Ricky, first of all, before we even get to the race, I want to thank you and everyone over there at simraces.com for sponsoring, and not only this season, but coming on board for next season as well. It's definitely been a pleasure working with you guys for that. But you had a pretty fast number 53 out here tonight. I know we know you as a GT driver, a road driver, but I'll be damned, you're starting to figure out these ovals as well.
Yeah, that simraces.com Supra was hooking up tonight. I think we finally found the track that, fits this car, even though they're all the same. But no, it was a great race. It's been such a fun season, like figuring out the oval side of things. I never really did it. Thought it was, for here, bring the pitchforks, but I thought it was boring. And after doing
You
it,
just made a lot of friends.
yeah, after doing it though, there's a lot of respect for those guys that are good at it, because getting smoked at it, we were like, there is a lot more to this than what we were expecting. So it's been a really fun challenge, actually learning how to drive the car, keep the tires alive, and just finding pace. It's so tight. You're like, oh, I'm so close. I'm only, 2/10 off. And then you realize that you're qualifying 24th. And it's like, oh, okay, all right, we got to figure something out. So it's been a really fun challenge, and looking forward to next season.
Well, it was definitely it was fun watching both you and Nathan kind of cut your teeth here in the series, and really trying to find your way through the early parts of the season. But where you guys made it here towards the end has been amazing, and you finish not only as a champion here tonight, but kind of taking it to some of these gold drivers, and even the overall champion there of Alan Elwood at the end of this thing as you finish up there inside the top 5. So I mean, it's got to feel really good. I mean, obviously great to finish with the Silver Division Championship. I'm sure you'll probably end up, unfortunately, getting promoted up to the Gold. But, I mean, top 5 to finish out the season has got to feel pretty damn good.
No, it feels great. And honestly, we still learned a lot. That last stint after everybody started coming into pit, I made it 2 laps, and I still had like 3 laps of fuel left. And I was like, I just threw away any chance at a podium here, because these guys are going to come out on new tires and be, a second a lap faster. And the stint's so long that it's not like I'm going to keep them alive to really make a big advantage at the end. And sure enough, like, so I just dove into the pits, and when I came out, I realized like how much I lost, and it was just working to try to get that back. But if I had stayed out even longer, I think it would have hurt me even more. It wasn't like half a stint that like I could have fresh tires to the end and push, but like I say, it's a lot of learning, and this was, other than Coda or the super speedways, this was the first time I actually felt comfortable on the track and thought I actually figured it out. But I think that's just laps and races under the belt, and next season I'm sure we'll be gold, but hopefully we just keep progressing and learning.
Well, it's certainly it was definitely some learning all throughout the season here, and it seems like it's starting to culminate here a little bit as well. So, congrats again on the top 5 finish here in the season finale, the Silver Division Championship. Before we let you go here, one last time, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
The whole simraces.com crew. Courtney and Troy were out there with us, had some technical difficulties, and feel bad for Nico. I watched that happen when Troy's computer crashed there. But unfortunately, Nate was on call and couldn't make it tonight for work. So, but it's been awesome having him out there to race every weekend with me and putting this on, and sponsoring the series. That's been cool. And you guys for putting on an awesome series. That's why we're happy to be a part of it. And everybody else out there that was racing, thanks for showing up.
Well, we appreciate the shout outs and the sponsorship as well, and it definitely it's great to work and have a partnership with any kind of sponsor, but to be able to work with you guys for back-to-back seasons, love to see that, and love to see what you guys bring to the table here for next season. We'll just let you go and celebrate this one. We'll see you after the little break here before we start season number 8.
Yeah, for sure. See you guys next season.
That is your top finishing silver driver here tonight, finishing in the top 5 and winning the silver division championship along with it. So congrats again to Ricky Renner. But next one we're gonna bring in here. Unfortunately, we don't have the winner John Crane here. So I guess we'll start going up the order here, as we also don't have the championship winner in the bronze, that being Jeremy Gainey by 3 points over Luis Orduna. So we'll bring in our gold division champion, and that's going to be the man that maybe knows how to pencil whip the rest of the field more than anyone. The man that takes care of the points for us here in Core. That is David Tilford in the 12. David, kind of an up and down race for you out there. We seen you doing very well and leading the gold division, especially right from the rip of this thing. But then we seen you kind of about 5 deep in the gold division with Courtney Nelson leading, and it couldn't have felt too good at that point. But ultimately, you end up you get him back in your sights there at the end, and I guess I just kind of just tailgate him there a little bit to make sure you got this championship.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case. I mean, I was trying not to sweat it too much when I saw those guys in front of me. Really didn't want anything to happen because the positions where they were, I knew I was good on points. So just kind of rode it out, and not a lot of risks taken there. And ultimately that worked out for me.
So, I mean, talk about the season. I know you had a good season, but it started to kind of maybe dwindle a little bit towards the end here, and you weren't exactly hitting your stride towards the end of the season, and allowing this gold division championship to get a little bit tight, a little bit close here at the end, and certainly close between you, Courtney, and Jake here, especially with both of them finishing in front of you here tonight. How much were you points racing? How much were you, trying to just get out there and do the best you can? What was going on in your mind in the cockpit?
Uh, Generally a lot of points racing because that's probably more my style, at least on oval side. I'm not going to be fast enough to keep up with the top fives for the most part. My only top five this year came at Coda, so um, I'm just out there trying to keep it clean. Don't do anything stupid as far as eating up my tires, hitting walls, etc. No real high risk moves, which from time to time it does cost me a lot of positions because I get stuck behind folks that are on different strategies. But ultimately I'm pretty happy with how the season wrapped up. Unfortunately for Courtney and Jake, they just ran into a couple bad races there that put them behind the 8 ball, and that's kind of what I needed, to be honest, because as I explained, I'm mostly just points racing. So, happy it came my way and worked out. I might say for once, it seems like every time I get in this position, to win some kind of championship,
Yes.
something happens and manage to
And you pull a
toss it
Tilford.
away. But
Yeah, you pull a Tilford.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So we're hoping that doesn't happen again on Thursday in GT, and we'll have a good week to go out on spring break.
Well, it was certainly a good way to finish out here tonight. You get yourself a top 10, and again, you kind of bird dogging the others that were right behind you in the points, and enough to get you here for the Gold Division Championship. So, congrats on the win here tonight, or for the season, I should say. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Mainly my competitors in the gold division made it a lot of fun. Courtney and Jake, both fast in their own ways and different strategies that they like to toss out there. Made it interesting for sure, and hope they're back next season as well. And to the rest of the field for coming out and consistently giving us good racing. And Nelson T for sponsoring this last race, simraces.com for sponsoring the series. You guys up in the booth, looking forward to watching this last one back and just seeing what was happening throughout the field. And as always, thanks to the family for letting me do this. And it's been a while, so I just gotta say I'm excited and looking forward to more of this.
Absolutely. Well, congrats again on the Gold Division Championship. We'll let you go celebrate it as we get ready for Season 8 coming up here in just a few weeks.
All right, yes sir. We'll see you.
That's your gold division champion here for the season, the 12 of Dave Tilford. Last but not least, Jimmy is going to be the man that was the dominant man all season here. Only got 7 wins. Couldn't get 8 wins here tonight, but I guess 7 was enough. Jimmy, the champion here in the Platinum Division. Alan Elwood in the 5.
And it's Jimmy Carlton, the boot cappy.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, a nice and relaxing night here at Miami for you. And, you start off up on the front row, put on some great battling and racing. Obviously, a rough start for the field, not for you all up front, but for the back of the pack trying to get things started. You find yourself in a pretty decent spot racing and run that high line there pretty comfortably. Look like you're on a cruise there towards the end. I think knowing that you had the kind of the championship kind of wrapped up, it's probably a much better feeling than last season coming into this thing and find yourself in despair, I guess, as you kind of see that things fall through your fingers. But this season, not the case. You get a lot of wins, a lot of victories, a lot of time up here in the booth. I think we need a chair up here with your name on it by now. Maybe a gold embroidered or something, sitting next to us.
Platinum embroidered.
Excuse me, platinum.
Can we afford that? I don't know.
all the colors, because nobody can really touch you. No, you did a great job out there, man, all season long. So we want to say congratulations and kind of give us a little rundown on how your night was, as obviously it was the last one of the season.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, just kind of I don't know, probably the worst race of the season for me for sure. I think the finish reflects that. Was up front, like you said, qualified up front and led some laps and had good pace. Felt really good about where I was at in terms of tires and fuel and everything. And just so happens after I pit and guys, kind of a little bit farther back from me had pitted right after me. Caution comes out, and that pretty much set the tone for the rest of the race. I was behind on tires the rest of the way. Couldn't make it back up. Those guys are just too fast to really try anything because they're just going to end up running you down. So I just tried to run it as far as I could and tried to run Tyler hard. I know he's probably getting really frustrated with me, but I knew him having like 2 lap fresher tires. It was only a matter of time, but I tried my damnedest using that high line to try to hold him off. But I don't know if it's the nighttime or high racing in general. Just the high line was useless. It was fun racing up there, but it in the end it really did nothing for you. You had to plaster that white line for your tires to last. But I knew that I wouldn't be able to really make that work with Tyler behind me. I just had to run up high and keep the momentum up and see if that would work, and it did for a while. But ultimately, that cost me that spot, and then Ricky also getting by me. So. Guess maybe I should have taken 2 of those guys up front. I don't know. I didn't think it would work, but it definitely worked. So, but that's a lesson learned. I know they changed these cars a little bit. Maybe that's something that's changed. You can maybe run 2 now. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see next season if that maybe comes into play.
Yeah, one of those things you don't know till you give it a college try. And Tommy and JP obviously talking in the same room, say, "Hey, let's give it a whirl. What do we got to lose?" As they, they've had their troubles throughout the season, getting wrapped up in incidents, after caution pit stops, sort of kind of like the bad troubles you had last year or last season. That's kind of what happened with Tommy and JP when he'd show up. You'd have some good runs, but not able to kind of get up there and give you a better run for your money on your back bumper. So, but either way, you walk away with the championship this season. Even tonight, you still walk away with a top 5. So a pretty decent finish and a lot of drivers' looks. I know not to your standards, a 70 passing grade for for a season. Well, I think it is, as you considered, you're the champion here for the CORE Xfinity Series this time around. So I want to say congratulations, man, on a season well done tonight, for a decent finish. Give you some time for any shout-outs you might have before we let you go celebrate.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's been a fun season. I know people kind of, I had a bounty on me, for God's sakes, at one point in the season. But it's been a lot of fun. I know it's easy to say that, running up front and winning races, but it really was. I think this was one of the better seasons that I've been a part of at CORE. So really appreciate everybody out there this season. It's looking forward to next season as well. But give a big shout out to you guys up here in the booth for taking your time to call our races and make it exciting to go watch, and everybody watching out there. And of course, Simrat Market, Roderick Racing Development, Performance Powder Coating, all our partners everything on this EDE team. Shout out to all the guys on our team that have raced this season as well. Hate how those guys, AJ and Nico, how their races ended tonight, but had a lot of fun racing with them while they were in here, and yeah, just looking forward to coming back next season and try and defend. It's hard. There's no guarantees, especially in this stuff. There's no guarantees as to how next season's going to go. So looking forward to, obviously celebrating this one. Going to take some time and maybe crack one open, on our St. Patrick's Day.
Boy.
But celebrating this one. It was probably the best season I've had. Obviously here at CORE, but probably one of the best seasons, if not the best season I've ever had in the league. Period. I've never come close to this many wins in a calendar on a schedule. So that's a mark that I can be super proud of, and know that I did everything that I could to make it worthwhile, and put my best foot forward, and hopefully maybe we can duplicate that next season and have some more success.
Well, good. Well, we want to say thanks for all the shout outs and kind words always. And, you never know, you get that chance to try to defend that title. That's always a challenge as you think you had a bounty out this season, maybe even a bigger one next one. So, again,
I don't know.
congratulations.
Because they had the bounty on me, they're leaving. So I don't know who's up to the plate. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
They might have a dark horse in there somewhere. But either way, you did great, man. It's always a pleasure to see you out there and get some wins, some laps led, and just kind of show the drivers how it's kind of supposed to be done out there. So again, congratulations on the race tonight, your championship for the season, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
That is your Platinum Division winner here, overall winner for the season. Winner of just about everything here this season, and it's going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood. We're going to get one more driver up here in the booth, and it's the man that put down some cold hard cash and got Nelson's T out there, as this was the Nelson's T 100, and that is going to be Stephen Harris. Stephen, a pretty good run for you overall here when it comes to the race. I mean, you finished up there pretty decent, and even was the leading bronze driver for a little bit in this race. So it definitely seems like you're picking some things up here lately. I know, beginning of the season, you were just kind of fresh and new to a lot of things here, but it seems like the practice and getting out there and trying new things is really starting to pay off.
I got to tell you, Carl, this has been a real blast for me. Very first league I've ever entered and tried to run. It's been a really good time. Tickled to death to be able to bring Nelson's T on board for tonight, and I'm sure they're tickled to death to have you guys talking about them. So, a nice company out of Indianapolis, Indiana. They have a lot of loose leaf teas, and they're tickled to death to be on board with us. And thank you guys for what you do. You and Jimmy do a fantastic job.
We definitely appreciate that. Talk to us about the about this being your first season in a league. It's definitely different going from officials to leagues. It's a different atmosphere. You get to run with the same drivers week in and week out, and you kind of get to settle into a bit of a groove. And here with CORE, you get to kind of settle into your own division as well, and race amongst your peers while you're still racing around some faster drivers as well, and maybe learning something from them along the way. So what was it like out here for your first season in CORE, and what were your takeaways that you're going to take the next season with you?
Well, first off, I was just trying to stay out of everybody's way because I don't want to make any enemies first time I get
in the elbows out.
Exactly. So tonight I did the best that I could, and I mean the tires just went away pretty quick for me because I'm not cutting the corners as good as the other guys are. I'm learning though. But the difference coming from the iRacing scene into the league has been night and day.
Yes.
In that regard, because I'm running with a lot of A-class drivers with you guys, and I just been running draft masters for a year, having a good time going fast and doing pretty well in the draft master series. But good grief, you can't get an I rating. You can't get your safety rating up if you just stay out there. But I like the structure that you guys have put together here. I like it so much that every one of my cars has got the logo on it, and I'm trying to recruit people
Well, we
and bring
appreciate
them
that.
into this.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to see this. I would love to see this just explode with 10 or 12 leagues underneath the CORE umbrella, and just have sponsorship come on. And we've got the best equipment to really make a good time for our fans out there, and also for us, because this is fun for us too. So I just thank Carl and thank you, Jimmy, for everything that you do, and I'm looking forward to next season. I did run with 191 the other night and
Yep.
had a halfway decent finish.
Yeah. Yep.
Finished in the top 10 for the first time in the leagues. And I'm probably going to run there Sunday nights this next time around and stick with you guys on Tuesdays.
Yep.
So just great fun. Thanks, guys, so much.
Well, we appreciate it, and you're definitely a welcome sight here. And I mean, you mentioned kind of one of the biggest ways to grow league, and that is word of mouth. I mean, we get more people into to CORE, and more people go into leagues via word of mouth than pretty much anything else. I mean, we do our best to to put it out there on your Facebook and even on iRacing forums and stuff like that. But it's lately it's been and always it's word of mouth and sometimes lately ChatGPT too. So say what you want about AI, but it's actually brought some CORE drivers in here. But either way, we appreciate you coming into CORE. Certainly appreciate you sponsoring this race here and putting some scratch out there for some of the drivers to compete for as well. But really happy to hear that you're enjoying yourself, and hopefully that continues to season number 8 for next season. But before we let you go and get out of here tonight, we'll give you some time to give any shout outs or thanks that you may have.
Well, I would like to thank Nelson's Tea for sponsoring this race. They've been stuck in Boston. Our principals have been stuck in Boston, dealing with the airport TSA, trying to get on a plane and get home, and with the shutdown and everything, it's all been kind of goofy. But I'd like to shout out to those guys, my kids. They pop in here once in a while and have a peek. I've put them on my rig here and there. I mean, they're all up in Indiana, and I'm down here in Florida. But they've all had a good time on the rig, and yeah, it's just been a good time. And just thanks again, you guys.
Well, we appreciate it again, and appreciate the shout outs. We'll let you go enjoy the off season and maybe get to work and getting a little bit more polished up here, and maybe get ready to get those elbows out for season 8 and see what you can do. But either way, thanks again for everything that you've done for us this season, and enjoy the off season. We'll see you in season 8.
Thanks, guys.
That is a driver of the 134, Stephen Harris, and man behind bringing in tonight's race sponsor, that being Nelson's Teas for the Nelson's T100. I want to thank everyone out there in CRN Nation for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I want to thank our series sponsor, simraces.com, and thank Kim's Cups and more as well for everything that they do. But that's going to do it for this season, and maybe forever for the CORE Xfinity Series, because next season it's going to be the CORE O'Reilly Series, and that's going to be coming up in just a few short weeks here, beginning of April. So you're going to have to tune in for that one. We got some racing action to hold you over in the meantime. But for myself and Jimmy from the Homestead Miami Speedway, we'll see you at the track.